Hi stranger. Based on the fact that you clicked on this video, you must be a knife lover. Maybe you dream of making knives as a new hobby for yourself. Maybe you have already made a few blades. Or maybe you are well experienced, and I should learn a thing or two from you. Anyway, whatever your motivation might be, this video will walk you through a journey of how I made a beautiful hunting knife with a leather sheath, step by step. So thank you for stopping by and enjoy.
The blade.
Here you can see me cutting a template of my original design. Normally, almost everyone else would attach the paper to the knife steel using glue or magnets, then transfer the template by spraying it with color and call it ready for cutting. But I thought otherwise.
What?
I decided to transfer the template to a thin sheet of steel. This way the template will last forever. I tried to think of each part of the process so that it should become easily repeatable and quick. And if I decide to slightly modify the shape later, it is an easy job for a file. Once I was happy with the shape of the templates, I could finally transfer the shape onto the knife steel. For this project, the customer wanted a low-maintenance blade, so I chose N690 high-carbon stainless steel. This steel is a product of powder metallurgy. It means that all elements of the chemical composition are precisely weighed and added to the furnace in the form of fine powder. Random samples are tested throughout all stages of the production process. If the results deviate from the norm, more powder of the lacking elements is added to meet the exact target composition. This way the quality of the final product is guaranteed, and the properties of the steel after heat treatment are always near identical. Anyway, here I am reducing the tang's thickness after I cleaned the transition between the blade and the tang. After profiling and rough grinding, I sent the blade to my supplier for heat treatment. And here I am finishing the bevel grind once it came back hardened and tempered. Yeah, now you can guess what's up next. But don't worry, this time, I am gonna be real quick with this part. And after spending several days hand sanding the blade, we can move to
the handle.
This handle material is a piece of stabilized curly birch. Here you can see there has already been done some work on the guard, but I decided to put this video together in coherent sections, so you will see the whole guard making process in the next chapter. After drilling, the bottom of the cavity for the tang needed to be further cleaned with my broach. Does it fit already? Not yet. After a couple of minutes, I realized that the broach is not doing much to the stabilized wood, so I switched to the hand drill.
Like a glove.
Now onto the handle profile. By the way, I also spent few hours refining the shoulder of the blade to eliminate any gaps. When drawing the handle profile, I realized it was designed too long, so I made it shorter. To flatten and square the top of the handle, I used my new disc sander.
Give me a break.
The guard.
The starting material is a 20mm stainless steel square bar. It is very durable and nice when finished, but a pain in the ass to work with, especially when trying to make a precise hole for the tang in it. As you have probably noticed earlier, there are 2 knives in the making. The second one will remain unfinished for a few months as other projects are much more urgent. But then, before Christmas, I will randomly pick one of my subscribers, and the winner will get the second knife. How about that? After a couple of hours of trying to widen the hole to make it fit onto the tang, I decided to heat the steel and widen it while it was hot. I was confident that the tang itself would be sturdy enough to withstand the whacking.
I got a bad feeling about this. Oh, shit.
This situation called for a different approach, so while the forge was hot, I decided to forge a small drift. Then the battery died, so the final drift looks like this. And after a bunch of drifting, which I didn't film by mistake, I could further shape the guard. then I went back to the grinder. But now is the time for
The glue-up. The Electro etching.
For this process, I designed a monogram of the future owner's name and ordered a vinyl sticker from a graphics studio. On the other side of the blade, I etched my maker's mark. To achieve a flawless etch, the blade must be clean, and the stickers must adhere perfectly to the blade. The source of electrical voltage is an old car battery charger, and the etchant is salt water. While the positive is attached to the blade, the negative is dipped in the water and gently pressed onto the etching spot. The surrounding area of the mark must be sealed watertight, otherwise it could leave etched spots elsewhere and potentially ruin the blade. After the etching, I quickly cleaned the area with a fine sandpaper and called it a day.
The sheath.
Sometimes, when you cut the template, you realize that some lines are not right, so you have to modify it. And this is the template before I realized that if I cut the retention strap as a part of the bottom piece, it would flip to the back side. So I needed to cut the straps separately. When the bottom piece was laid out, I needed to cut and lay out the welts. Since the guard is quite thick, I decided to add 2 more layers of leather to create a snug shoulder for the guard. These inserts had to be tapered. To improve adhesion, it is best to roughen the surface with coarse sandpaper. Huge thanks to everyone who kept watching this far. It truly means the world to me. If you would like to see more of my content, or win a copy of this knife, please consider subscribing to my channel.